Now here is part 2 of my birth story. So as my husband is on his way to the hospital, I am bawling my eyes out. They're wheeling me into what it's called kind of like an ICU, which is like intensive care unit. And I was probably like a few doors down or whatever. And the nurse was saying, it's okay. Everything is going to be okay. You and the baby are going to be fine. You both are in good hands. And I'm still crying. And the nurse was like, well, at least you have your makeup done and you look pretty. And I'm like, I don't even give up about my makeup. Like, I'm having my baby. This is so fast. So my husband finally gets there. And as soon as he gets there, again, the waterworks happen, start crying again. And the nurse was explaining to him about the situation with me and what's going on. And he just came by my side and he was like, it's okay, babe. And I'm like, we don't even have the hospital bag ready. His room isn't ready. And he was like, don't worry, everything is going to be fine. And I was like, did you call your mom? Did you call my mom? Like, I haven't even had time to process anything. And he's like, yeah, I did call my mom and she's on her way. She's on her way with your mom. Everybody's going to be here. And, yeah, so they start coming one by one and they were just asking me how I'm feeling, how I'm doing. And I was just still upset and sad because I didn't have anything ready. And they were just saying, don't worry, everything is going to be fine. We'll get everything for you. What do you need? So my mother-in-law and my husband went to our house to pack up a hospital bag of whatever it is that we needed at the moment, and the baby's stuff too. So during my hospital stay, they were monitoring my blood pressure like crazy, and they were giving me blood pressure medication as well because my blood pressure kept going up and up and the baby's blood pressure kept going down. So they had to monitor it, make sure that everything was safe. And I remember they wrote down on the board that I was going to have the baby that day that I checked in. But I ended up having my son the next day because they kept checking. They induced me. I forgot about that part. But they induced me and to see if I was able to dilate by myself, but I couldn't. I was just like, I stayed at 2 centimeters the whole time. So as the nurses were taking care of me and monitoring my blood pressure and everything, they scheduled me for an emergency C-section. So I had to sign some paperwork and I was kind of in and out of it, of what I was doing. Thank goodness that my husband was there just to make sure that everything was okay, because honestly, I was just so out of it and worried for me and my son to make sure that we were okay. They had me sign like paperwork to make sure that I was consenting on the C-section and all that other stuff. And the anesthesiologist, well, later on, the anesthesiologist come. And that one didn't sit well with me, and I'll tell you why. So the anesthesiologist comes in and he was explaining to me about what he was going to do and blah, 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 whatever. I'm a very ticklish person. There's no way of me being not ticklish. I'm very, very ticklish. Even by like the touch right here, I just jump easily. And I let the anesthesiologist know. I was like, I'm going to let you know right now. I will do the best that I can to sit still because I know that at any moment, if something wrong happens, I'm paralyzed for life. I get that. And I was explaining it to him. I was like, I will do the best that I can to sit still, but I'm letting you know that I'm very, very ticklish. And he said, that's not going to work for me. So I was just like, okay. And I did the best that I can. I was doing all the breathing exercises that the nurse was helping me with. But he was just being so rude the whole time. He said, "You're going to feel some light pressure once I inject you." And I forgot what else he said. But he injected me, and I still felt pressure even though he stopped. And he goes, "Why are you still moaning? Why are you still not moaning, but like, why are you making that noise? I haven't even done anything." And I was just like, "Well, I feel pressure. Like, you said I would feel it, and I feel it, and I still feel it." He's like, "Yeah, but I haven't done anything." So I'm like, "Okay." And he said, "Oh, well, what did he say? He said something like, 'Oh, I did it wrong. Now I have to do it again because you moved.'" But like really attitudey. And I'm like, "What the?" I'm like, "Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to sit still." So after he gave me all that attitude, he gave me the epidural. And after he was being super rude with me, he started being nice with me. He was like, "Oh, so what are you having? Oh, you're having a boy? Oh, congratulations." And I was just like, "Whatever, dude. Like, just get out of here. I don't even want to see you anymore." So he leaves. Hours later, I think I was in labor for like 24 hours, I believe. Because the next day, which was the 14th, I ended up having my C-section, and my son was born. November 14th, 5 pounds, 6 ounces at 8:17 a.m. Now, during our hospital stay, my mom, my dad, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and my husband's aunt, which is my aunt, came to our house and literally did a whole makeover to our house. They organized, opened all the presents for the baby room. My dad painted our house, painted the room, just everything. And they did a full makeover. And I just want to give them the biggest shout out. And honestly, if it wasn't for them, I really don't know what we would have done. But because of them, I really am grateful and appreciative of what they did for us during that time, because this was all unexpected. And we would have had the time to do it, but I will always and forever be grateful of them. It still gets me emotional just because of the fact that they didn't have to do it, but they did it. They went out of their way to do that for us. And it just makes me really happy. And it really does take a village to help raise a baby, whether if it's your first or your second or your third or your fourth, it doesn't matter. And really keep that village. I'm so grateful for them for doing that for us. And now our baby is 8 months old. He will be 9 months on the 14th. We have a beautiful, healthy, smiley baby, and we're just so blessed and grateful to have him in our lives. Yeah, he's just been amazing. I mean, the newborn trenches was really, really hard. I'll tell you that, for us at least. But after we got over that, it's been a lot of fun to see how he grows, his personality and stuff like that. So that concludes my birth story. Love you guys so much. I will try to post as much as possible, so bear with me. But until next time, I will see you guys in the next video or my next post. Bye.